Hello, everyone. Incredible evening. I missed the whole afternoon because for me, I don't know about you guys. It's like after 5 o'clock, I consider it to be evening. It's normally my greeting instead of afternoon. So incredible evening, everyone. How are you guys doing? It is time for Teach Me Tuesday with the Professor. In other words, a live Q&A. Y'all know that's how I do them now. Facebook is definitely not giving right now because all this time, my live broadcast, it literally is not broadcasting out from Facebook. I have no idea what's going on right now because I don't even see my own Facebook Live. So I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know. It's been acting kind of crazy lately with my Facebook Lives. And yeah, don't know what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and just add this stream to it because I don't know what's going on with Facebook. So I'm just going to add the other one. And let's see. Alrighty. But hello, everyone. Shoot, I don't know what's going on. All right, let me set this up for tickety tick tick talk and get this live going over here. This is as usual, this is a live Q&A. Not necessarily a dedicated class. Now I'm focusing on like actual teachers and stuff in my full-on class. These are to help you guys. I mean, still teaching, but it's based off of your questions that you have, whatever help that you need. Let's see. All right. I'm going to try it one more time so that I can share it out. And if I don't see it up here, it's okay. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Facebook really is not distributing my lives, not even to me. Like Sewaholics Anonymous does not show up on my notifications. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah. It's not showing up on my notifications at all. Like it literally, I'm looking at StreamYard and it says 0 here. So I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. I can't even share it out. Alrighty, but hello. Incredible evening, afternoon, depending on where you are from. I have a question. Well, that's what this is for. So definitely post your question and we'll get to it. I'm watching a YouTube video and clicked off to watch yours. Oh, thank you. Watching from the Peach State, Georgia. All right. Hello. All right. So I see your question. Give me a minute to get to that. I need to go ahead and start this live over here on TikTok. All right. We're live over here. Make sure you guys, maybe that again, that helps the how it distributes. So make sure that you guys come in, you give the video a thumbs up, or a heart, angry emoji. Go ahead and drop, well, angry reaction, drop an emoji in the comment section. That always helps. Just say hello. So any comments on the feed also helps. If you're watching over on Sillaholics Anonymous on Facebook, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and that will help with the distribution. All right. So hello again. How is everyone? All right. And then let me share my TikTok over on Facebook. Okay, so I am Jakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365. We are the parent company of Sillaholics Anonymous, the Honestly Speaking brand, as well as 365 Creative Academy, where I help you unlock your creativity. I do these live videos daily, well, weekly, sometimes daily, in an effort to help those. I'm always looking for new people to come in, and then even those who have watched me for a long time. Sometimes you may have that question. You might be working on something right now and you can't figure it out. Your printer's acting crazy. You may have a business related question. That's what I jump on these lives to help you guys out. If you're not able to, maybe take one of my full classes or book a one-on-one session with me, I'm always here to help. And I like teaching. This is my passion. So if I don't do this at least once a day, I don't feel fulfilled. All right. So we're going to get right into this. This is Q&A style. Feel free to go ahead and post your questions. You don't have to wait until I answer a question to post yours. As long as I have not answered the question within this particular live, I will answer a question. So if someone else asked the question yesterday, it's okay. That was yesterday. This is today. So I don't really mind. If you're an old head here, you might hear questions and hear answers that you've heard over and over and over again. For some, it doesn't hurt for it to be reiterated and just to, just to like hear it again. But if you're new, I'm your girl to be able to help you. All right. So I do see that we have a question on YouTube already. So we're going to answer that. If you're watching over on TikTok, feel free to ask your question. I am well versed in Sublimation, Epson Printers, party favors and decor, business, foam board, print and cut, silhouette, even Cricut stuff. So Photoshop, all that. So feel free to post your questions. Okay, so Barbara says, I have a PDF of an elf on the shelf letter that I need to change the skin color of the elf and Santa. Can you direct me to one of your videos that may help me? If it is a PDF and it was designed in what happened? Designer Plus, or business. You just open that file. And it's when you open up the PDF, it's going to ask you, do you want to open it as a vector or as an image? You're going to choose vector. If that elf and if that Santa is actually vectorized, you'll be able, like it's a vector image, you'll be able to ungroup and then change the color. If that image is something like let's say they created a PDF in Word, but they brought in a picture, like a JPEG of the elf or a JPEG or a PNG of Santa, you cannot just click on that and change it. You're going to have to trace it. If it is kind of like a line art or like a coloring book page and it has color, you'll be able to trace it. If it is just a regular digital image, say like this, where colors bleed together, you won't be able to easily change that. So I don't really know exactly what it looks like. Questions like that, that's where my group it comes in into play. You can, put a watermark over. I know in some groups what they'll do is like they'll take a screenshot and they'll put like a line over it just enough to see it, but then ask your question. So post it in the group for something like that, because I really would not be able to tell you what's going to be the right video because I don't know what that image looks like. But those are the different options you have. I just shared to Facebook, I think. Thank you so very much. I was going to watch the rest of today's vector class since I had to leave early. Okay. Incredible Tuesday. Oh, I should do that too. Instead of incredible like morning, I should say incredible like whatever the day is. Y'all always giving me the good ideas. This is your first time catching me. Oh, you know what? I stopped doing that also. If this is your first time catching me live, you probably saw some of my old content, a playback, a pre-recorded video. But if this is your first time here, let me know in the comments. If this is your first time catching me live, let me know in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. Is there a way to print double-sided from Silhouette? Not automatically to where you can just click it and just print double-sided, because Silhouette Studio does not have different pages. So you always only have one design, like one page. You don't have multiples. So in order for you to print double-sided, you'll have to design it and then have what the reverse side is designed on another page. And once it finished printing, you'll have to put it back in the opposite way so that it can print on the back side. But there is no way to automatically print double-sided. First time from Texas. Well, hello, LaBella. How are you? I am Shakia the Professor. So if you have questions about eco-solvent printing, sublimation, regular dye and print and cuts and selfie frames and Silhouette Studio, business-related questions, feel free to ask. I am one of the best, if not the best, in this creative industry. I'm always here to help. So it's not too many things. I'm a researcher, so I research a lot of different things. So it's not too many things that, I haven't touched and put my hands on that I wouldn't be able to kind of help you guys. I'm not called the professor or nothing. I do a lot of research so that it's for my personal growth, but it also helps you guys. Do I trace everything that I import? No. It really depends on the project and what it's for. But no, I don't trace everything. As far as like tracing it all out, sometimes, if I need a trace and detach and like the box around it is too big, then I'll, do a trace and detach for that. Some things you cannot trace, things that are, that have transparent pixels to it, or if it's like a watercolor, certain splashes, like certain things you just can't trace. That's how you have to think the best. Yeah. I'm kind of nice with this, pop my own collar, kind of nice with it. And somebody else over here said the best. So, hi, Teresa. I'm not sure if that was an emoji or stars, but thank you for commenting. How do we? Sometimes I feel like I have too many products and not enough customers, because you probably do. The hardest thing for a creative or a crafter is to scale down, or one of the biggest issues is not leaving things that's just for crafting, just for your personal use. We feel as though everything that we create, we have to make it something that we can market and sell. And that is where you're going to drive yourself crazy. The best way to pick a niche is to pick something. And even if you, let's say, do that for 3 months, 6 months, something becomes a habit and you can't really see the growth of it. I think it's what they say, is it 16 times or 15 times? So it may take 6 to 8 weeks. It may take 10 weeks. It may take 16 weeks. Or it may take a couple of months to really get in the groove. But if you, like, when you go and let's say you choose something, you're like, this is what I'm going to stick to as far as monetizing it. It may not grow that fast. You may have some slow periods, and you're going to want to try something else and be like, oh, okay, this isn't working. You really got to put work into it. And like when I say put work, you got to be marketing that thing all the time for whatever it wants to be, whatever it is you want to do. Niches, they break down in so many different ways. It's not just about a type of product. It can be like a certain genre, right? So let's say you are somebody where I want to provide everything that I do, whether it is sublimation tumblers, if it's shirts, if I'm making anything with acrylic, the laser cutter, if I'm making any stickers. I can do all of this, but so that I kind of keep my supplies and know exactly what supplies I'm going to need. I don't have to worry about 1,000 different fonts. I don't have to worry about 1,000 different images for birthday, retirement. I'm only going to do weddings. And then you can even break that down. So, and we were talking about this in my events class, that you can go and have someone that does everything for beach weddings. Like, you are the go-to person where everything beachy, hey, I'm coming to you. So when it comes to any designs, invitations, creating seating charts, menus, table settings, it's like you are promoting, and I want whoever's having a beach party, a beach wedding, hey, I'm your girl. Or just, if you are able to handle doing a bunch of different wedding stuff, I'm your girl, I'm your company. And that's what you stick to, and you push and push and push and push the content. When you create a niche, or when you want to scale down to a niche, because you may not have a lot of people that are ordering right now because you're trying to scale back. You are going to have to spend money to make money. You're going to have to, without someone paying for it, just create things. You get blanks. And that is a part of your marketing budget, where you're just going to get blanks, or you're just going to create stuff. You're going to sit and you're going to make designs that's for that particular niche. If you want to do some of everything, like I don't want to, I just want to do birthday stuff. Do you want to do it for adults? Do you want to do it for kids? It's okay to be someone where I don't make things for adults. I can make whatever you want, but I only do it for kids. I can do whatever you want, but I only do it pet related things. I make pet related shirts, pet related socks, pet things for pet lovers, for tumblers, mugs, whatever it is. You have to decide what you want to cut out and what you want to focus on. If your niche is, I can do any and everything, but I'm not going to do onesies and twosies. There's a market for it, but I'm not that person. So I'm going to work to where I'm going to branch out and reach out to companies. I'm going to reach out to other businesses that need multiples of this. I'm going to reach out to schools. I'm going to reach out to churches. I'm going to go to sports, but that requires work. It requires work, and way more work than just making a post on Facebook or social media. You're going to have to get out there and really, really, really push and promote whatever your niche is. Hopefully that helps. I converted my work for 7820 Saturday using your directions and your ink and had no problem at all. You are a wonderful teacher and professor. Thank you, Purple Diamond. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's see. Give me a second. TikTok is going to go away for just a second. I just want to see if it's now showing up on Facebook. Hold on. I still don't see my own live video. That's so crazy. My own video still isn't showing up in my feed. Yeah. I am stuck on what printer for sublimation. I'm new at it, and I've watched your videos on printers. If you watch the video, you know, I mean, there's a bunch of different options. You just have to choose what's best for you at this moment. There is no right or wrong. It's really price, what size you want to print, and which of like all of them have pros and cons. So which one does like the cons like or the pros outweigh the cons for whichever one you want. You know, I had to make the video today, you know, earlier about the workforce printers. To me, they're great. I personally have never had an issue with it. Some people end up having issues with the workforce and they feel as if it's not worth it. I personally don't care for eco tank printers. That's just me. So you just have to decide what's going to be the best use. For some, they just make that decision off of what's available in the store at the time because they're ready to just get going. I'm interested in digital celebrations of life templates, but not sure where or how to start. I've been researching Corgi and templates to use for Etsy. Have you used either of these? No, I make my own. I'm not even sure what that is. So if you're doing, you're saying digital celebration of life templates. So even when I did like every one that I create, I mean, I just save it in as a JPEG and it's a digital version. So every service program that I create, so I've never used any of those. I use Silhouette Studio and I use Photoshop and Illustrator sometimes, but I've never used any of those. And as far as like templates, I make templates for others, but I'm normally designing from scratch and I'm the one that create templates. You just look at other things for inspiration. Once you know how to use your program, you can recreate any template that you see. And that's one of the best ways to learn too. Do a Google search. Try to recreate what you see, and you'll be surprised at how much of a designer you really can be to where you can just look at something and then figure out how to create it, how to section it, how to create like the different borders or where pictures go. When it comes to the words of it, it's just text. And do you want imagery around it? Do you want it to just be a background? And pulling in a background is very easy to do in any program. So it's not really a matter of a template. A lot of people think that they need templates. All templates do is like, it can be a handicap. If you are really wanting to learn how to design, sometimes templates, like if they're like a full-fledged template, it can be a handicap because all you're doing is like, let's say if it has a place for pictures, you're just going to go and just throw the picture there. So there's no customization to it and you're just going in, you're just putting it there. Well, how do you make that box that the picture goes in? I say find something and try and recreate it, but you have to know the program that you're using. It doesn't matter if it's Silhouette, if it's Photoshop, if it's Illustrator, if it's Corel Draw, if it's Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer, Inkscape, Flexi, Canva, Procreate. It doesn't matter what the program is. You got to be dedicated to learning the program that you plan to use for it. If it's these Corgi or Template, whatever it is, if it's those, if it's Canva, you just got to be dedicated to learning the ins and outs of that program. I just answered general questions about business, sublimation, softwares, crafting, eco-solvent prints, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just known as the professor. I'm well versed in a lot of different areas, event planning, business related, marketing. So let's see. Hello from Georgia. I have a JPEG of a logo I need for a business, but it won't cut the inner circles. I've watched quite a few videos and you're one with the dinos and not working. Can you help me one-on-one? I definitely can. You can book a one-on-one session. They are $50 an hour. If it's just something quick, like to do that, you can book a quick help session. It's a 15 to 20-minute session just for that. If there are inner circles on it, not sure if you've watched my video on how to remove the inner parts. There's a dedicated video that's just for that and doing it within Silhouette Studio. So you can check out that video, or you can go to our website, shop.hsink365.com. Go to search help, and then either book a full help session or a quick help session. Yes, learning to design is my ultimate goal. I'm a binge watcher of your videos. That's how I did my stoles and memorial banner, by getting samples and following the concepts plus your teaching. Yep, best way to learn. I'm actually not a big fan of Affinity Designer. It's kind of like the whole Coke, Pepsi, Apple, Android, or Apple, Samsung kind of deal. I'm an Adobe girl, although I do like Corel Draw. So I personally like the way Affinity Designer is set up. For me, it don't work. I mean, it's not that I can't like figure it out. I just don't like the interface of it. I'm an Adobe girl, so love me some Adobe, Photoshop and Illustrator, but I also can navigate Corel Draw because that was one that I like taught myself like completely years ago. So I still have a love for it. Trying to get this to 365 and then take a screenshot. Oh, I went past it. Dang it. I double tapped 120 times. I want to take a screenshot at 365. Any other questions? We're on like 26 minutes now. Any other questions for moi? I don't want to hold you guys. If you guys don't have questions for me, don't want y'all to just sit here and just stare at me. So we'll go ahead and end. And then y'all know I always kind of, I always come back. Won't come back tonight because I do have a class tonight. Tomorrow morning, I have some, depending on what my schedule looks like tomorrow, I might end up doing a live in the morning before my 12 o'clock class. Does everyone who's watching, whether you are on TikTok or on Facebook or YouTube, do you know about our amazing sublimation products? Let me know if you know about our products. If you have tried our products, go ahead and drop those cyan, magenta, yellow, and black hearts. If you have tried them and you love them, or let me know if you don't know about our products. I would love to educate you on our amazing products and how they can help your creative endeavors. Are you talking about design programs for what is TS? I have no idea what TS is. What's TS? All right. So how do I sign up for your classes? I'm new to Silhouette as a whole. I'm trying to upgrade Silhouette. Can't find the upgrade. Alrighty. So let's go through that. Oh, for t-shirts. Okay. I was like, what is TS? All right. Give me 1 second. I'm going to come back to your question. We're going to share the screen here. All right. And let's enhance and flip camera. So if you are wanting to sign up for any of my classes, you're going to go to our website, shop.hsink365.com. shop.hsink365.com. You'll find the link in the description of this video. I've done several classes over the years. The playbacks are just as good as being in the live sessions because it's so much information. You just have to be disciplined and actually watching them. You're not going to learn things overnight. Some people will say, well, I can't watch long videos. Well, these, to be great at what you do and to become professional, like to be a pro at it, you're not going to be able to get that from watching a 15-minute or 20-minute video. You got to really get down to the nitty-gritty of it all. And I am the type of instructor where I get you down to the nitty-gritty. I really leave no stone unturned. Back in the day, they used to always say no student left behind, because I'll spend hours to help one person figure something out. And you get that on the playback to where if you're struggling with the same thing, you'll be able to follow along. So there's a lot of classes on there. A lot of my older classes are is now on sale, because I teach my own classes, and the first run of them is always live, and then you can purchase the playback. So if you're wanting to just simply learn Silhouette Studio, it is not live as far as Essentials to Silhouette Studio. Do not let that deter you guys from looking into Essentials to Silhouette Studio. It is the greatest money you will ever spend, not just because I taught it. I'm telling you, like, just from the feedback from it. And I was really in my zone when I did this course. It's 30 days. And the way that it is set up, you don't have to be live. Having the playbacks will actually probably be better for you, because you can watch it when you are free. If you are someone that has kids, and, when I did it live, it was at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. may not work for you. But the playbacks can, because you can watch it when you are able to. So the website, I'll type it in here since you asked the question. We're going to go shop.hsink.com. All right. So here on the website, once you scroll down, this very, very first one, that is Essentials to Silhouette Studio. So that can help. So I design all of my t-shirts. I mean, everything that I do, for the most part, unless I need like a special type of shadow or background that I have to blend and things like that, I do 93.65% of the things that I create is done in Silhouette Studio. I had my students today like, wait a minute, you can do all of that? Yes, we can do all of this. I think today I had them shook about what you can do in Silhouette Studio, my morning class. But this right here, Essential Silhouette Studio, it's 30 days it's 30 days, 32 sessions, well over 40 hours of instruction. You get worksheets so that you follow along with what I'm actually doing. It's going to help you understand the software so much more, to where you'll be able to follow along with any YouTube video, any class. You can join a class like, okay, yep, I want to learn how to make t-shirts. Well, in a class, I can, maybe only show you how to make one t-shirt. But then if I'm going to go and say, okay, yep, you're going to click here, click this, do this. Oh, wait, mine didn't do this. Or why did this happen? You got to know the tools. This is where you start. This is your foundation. Essentials to Silhouette Studio. It is $83.65. I can easily sell this for well over $200, $300, $400, because it's just that great. I'm telling you, it's just that great when it comes to Essentials to Silhouette Studio. You are going to feel like you robbed me with what you learned from there. Anyone that is in creative business, even if you know Photoshop, there are things that you can do a lot easier in Silhouette Studio than you can do in Photoshop, Illustrator, Affinity Designer. That's the way it's set up. And that's why I teach it. I'm not sponsored. You guys know, Silhouette America ain't checking for me in any way, shape, or form. I get not to one quarter, not a penny from Silhouette America. I genuinely love the program, and I genuinely recommend it to anyone, especially if you are a beginner getting into designing. Once you understand this, it will be very easy to understand other programs, especially the way that I teach it. So $83.65, you'll have access to the playbacks. The playbacks are where it says YouTube playbacks. Don't worry. It's not like you're paying for something and everybody and their mama can watch it. It's exclusive private links until we get all the other ones put back in. So don't worry about that. Some people say, well, if it's YouTube, can anyone watch it? No. If you go to my YouTube, you're not going to find any of those videos unless you have the actual link. So that's where you're going to start. Right now, we are on day 4 of my 7-day challenges. I will have them again, the SVG one. The event one, probably won't do that one until like the full program starts. But the SVG one, because of how it's taught, I've had some people who wanted to attend live in the evening. So sometime in August, we will have an evening one. It's going to be the same exact information. So if you've already taken this one, unless you just want to just take every class that I have, you don't have to go to that one, because I'm teaching from the exact same images and information, but I'm going to do it in the evening because I have a lot of requests for an evening session. But if you're wanting to, right here where it says 365 C8, so 365 Creative Academy classes and playbacks, you're going to click on that. It's going to take you to the collection for Academy courses. You'll always find my like whatever's the latest course or challenge or class is always going to be at the top of this. So right now we have learning how to create vector or create SVGs. And trust me, look, it's way more than what you think. Okay. I ask them all the time. I was like, is every last one of my students say, well, except for like Miss Cheryl, she says, I don't get more than what I expect because I always know it's going to be absolutely amazing. She already knows she's come to expect nothing but greatness from any class. But if you've never taken any of my classes, or even if you've taken other people's classes, I guarantee you their classes are not set up like mine. I money back guarantee you'll never find a class that's like mine. So we have the one for vector, which you guys like, to say SVGs. I break down the difference because y'all think that everything is an SVG and it's not. And then we have one for event decor where you are kind of getting more of like design techniques. Yesterday we did, this is what we did today. So I was teaching them they actually made the background, how to create the sketch letters, how to fill them in with different patterns and stuff. But what we did yesterday in the event one, let's see, right there. It would be nice, but at the same, I think for me in the back of my mind, I'm like, I see a lot of people who are influencers and or affiliates for certain companies, and even for us, I've held off on putting out our affiliate program because I don't want people to feel like you're just recommending it because you're going to get like some money from it. And for me, I have affiliates, and like y'all know, even if I don't become an affiliate for something that I don't believe in, but sometimes I feel like if someone has an affiliate link, people will start to think, well, you're just saying that it's great because they pay you. So I kind of sort of like that I don't get paid from them, but it would be nice to get some sort of recognition, or just a thank you, because I'm pretty sure I brought them in a lot of coins. Okay, a little thank you would be nice. All right. So this is what we worked on last night. Don't mind the little cute girl over there because I just to show them how to put a picture in. But I was showing, we created all of this from scratch with, and I helped them with like design concepts to where the sides of it is basically meant to look like the Coca-Melon watermelon. So that's how the sides were. And then like pulling them in. If you'd have saw how this was before, these all were from a different chip bag. And I was showing how you can easily switch that up and customize it for each one. Then we went from, okay, we have all of these same elements. We already know what fonts we're going to use. How do we translate that into other things without having to reinvent the wheel? So they learned how to take that and make it into a panel for, well, of course, this is like an M&M one. And this is one version. You can do one with the picture, and it's a totally different version. Or this one has the logo for the brand of candy. This one just has the name on it. Then we took it from there and we made a water bottle label so that things are different yet cohesive. So that's just something, that's what today we're going over the designer handbag boxes, like gift boxes and stuff. That's what we're going to go over in class today if you're in the event one. So today in SVG, they learned this. We made our own backgrounds. Well, here's some other ones. And then this is where, because it's a vector, you can put any pattern in it. So where is, so I can make that where it's glitter. That's when we created all of the backgrounds, custom gradients. Oh, these are my practice ones before class. And this is also what we learned yesterday, how to make 3D toppers in the event class. Oh, I thought I still had the other SVGs open, but I don't. But yeah, all of my classes are absolutely amazing. And we have amazing products as well. So on TikTok, y'all can, well, this is the pigment ink, but we sell sublimation ink as well. This was printed plain paper setting, 365 degrees, 30 seconds. Our paper is amazing, and you get full ink release without having to waste a lot of ink and paper, a lot of ink, or having your heat press up at 400 degrees. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But while I'm over here, Miss Dawn, your question about where to go to upgrade. I do have an updated video where I've talked about how to download from Silhouette America. So we're going to go Silhouette America. And we're going to go over to their website. And where you find the version that I use, you just go to software. Once you go to software, come on. Oh, get software. It's always going to be the latest version right here. You click learn more. Right here where it says legacy is where you will find the 4.3 version if you want to go to that one, and any other legacy version that is there. So you just have to click on software and then learn more, and then legacy or beta, whichever one you're wanting to download. All right. And let's flip y'all around. Okay, let's see. I have heard of them, but no sub printer yet. Thinking of getting one and researching. Okay. Ink the best. So I haven't had to waste money on trying others. I would like to know about the products. Okay, I will definitely let you know. When I download fonts, which do I select? It doesn't matter. They are nowadays, they're exactly the same. It doesn't really matter which one you do. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, just brought the 13 by 19 tacky paper today. No more. Oh, you mean, wait, the 13 by 17, no more taping. You mean the rolls? You just brought a roll. So if you mean the roll, it's 13 by 328 feet, and you can make it whatever size you want. So the roll, but it's not 13 by 17. It's either 13 by 19 or 13 by 300 feet. She says, take the class, you will learn. Oh, I read that one. Thank you, though. They need to know that I feel like emailing them. How could they not acknowledge her? So this makes me so... No, don't let it make you mad. I mean, I don't know. Hell, Facebook barely promotes my live, so they might... And then, I give out more information than anyone. Maybe people just don't like my longer videos because I'm actually teaching. I'm not doing a tutorial. Now I teach because maybe they're not checking for me because they feel like I don't have enough YouTube followers. So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but hey. Class was great. Last night's class was amazing. I've been rewatching it today. Class is tonight is at 6:30. 6:35 because 365 is in there, but tonight's class is at 6:30 or 6:35. Do I have a solo? Yes. Have I started using it? No, it's still in the box. I purchased that sucker in November. I just haven't had a chance to really, get into it. I really only got it because I was told that maybe people aren't reaching out to me for sponsorships because they think that I'm just everything Silhouette. And they probably think that I'm sponsored by Silhouette and I would never do X, Y, and Z. So I went and purchased one myself, hoping to maybe get more people to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I was showing something different. But I'm really not invested in trying to learn it. If I'm being totally honest, I purchased it to me for the wrong reasons. And I really have there's no urge for me. Just like my Sawgrass. I love my Epson printers. I only wanted that because, to be able to help people who use our brand of paper if they ever had questions. But I'm like, I'm so not motivated to set this Sawgrass up because I love my Epson printers. So I have a solo, just haven't set it up yet. As soon as I get some extra coins, I'm going to get the essentials class. Awesome. Let's see. I just finished the 30-day challenge and feeling like I can design or edit anything, ready for the next class. So, real quick, because it's almost 6 o'clock, about our amazing, amazing products, which shoot, I don't even have in front of me, which is bad. There used to be one sitting right up there, and it's not there anymore. Oh, crap. That's so bad of me to not have the products. I mean, I know my ink and stuff is right. Oh, it's right here. Ha ha. So let me tell you guys about this paper right here. All right. Give you a little background. I started Sublimation a little while ago, a couple years ago, and I am a researcher through and through, right? Certain things happen to where the brands and stuff that I used to recommend, which I'm never saying anything bad about those. I mean, I've used a lot of different papers. I actually still have a lot of different summation papers here, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck to do with them because I am a researcher and I end up buying all this paper and I'll never use anything other than this again. So I don't know what to do with all this paper that I have. No, y'all can't have it because if you're going to get paper from me, it's going to be honestly speaking. But in my research, when I got our paper, I went through a lot of places on Alibaba. That's the other thing too that I'm going to end up doing is I'm about to do buy-ins and it's going to be through, I only have one company. I'm going to show you how to like search for things on Alibaba. But for me, I'm sticking with one company that I know rocks out and has great products. But I'm also going to take you guys on the journey of us getting blinked and how that process works because we're about to do buy-ins. So for anyone that's a part of any of the buy-in, I'm also going to show you like how you can order it from them as well and how the MOQs work. So when you participate in any of the buy-ins, you're also going to get access basically to a class if you are interested in eventually getting your own products. It doesn't have to be sublimation. You can go on there and search for products just to sell like swimsuits or craft things. So there's going to be a class for that as well once we start doing our buy-ins. But as I researched getting paper, I just tested and tested. And I felt like I was lied to. I'm not sure if things just kind of change in how they make the paper. Everyone, companies that have been around for forever and a day, they will tell you that it's 400 degrees for 60 seconds. When I first tried out this paper, there were certain things I'm like, oh my God, I love it, right? So I'm doing the 400 degrees for 60 seconds. I'm like, man, it's nothing special about this. Like, am I going to be just like everyone else? Like, what's so special about this? You know, why should I have paper when everybody else, there are all these companies that have papers, right? But me being the professor, I took a chance on something where when we first launched it, it was so many people that rejected our product because they're like, who are you to say not to use 400? You know, the companies that make the paper say 400 degrees. How in the heck can you say it works less than that? Sublimation ink doesn't activate until 380 some degrees, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. You didn't do the research. So I actually made a mistake and it wasn't quite up to where it should be. And this heat press that I have here, that little handle is dangerous, very, very dangerous. And it fell down. Like if you turn it to a certain like place, whatever, or you push it down, like it comes down and it will whack the hell out of you. Like it's a good printer, but it's ruthless. So it actually came down and I let it sit there. It was actually only down for a few seconds. And when I lifted it up, because I was like, oh, shoot. And I lift up, what it was on. I was like, wait a minute. This transferred. Hold on. Okay, let's do this again. So before it got up, I dropped it and let it go for like 60 seconds. And then I was like, okay, maybe like, dang it, why did it come out so bright last time? And then when I did I'm not saying it wasn't bright, but it was a little bit of a difference. So that's like, okay, well, let me go and really, really test. So I started Why am I frozen? It said 360 for 20 seconds because that's what I was able to do on this. Then I did the Cricut Easy Press. So you might see descriptions that says, you know, all this works 20 this time's better, perfect for the Easy Press. That was all taken from our website because no one else was writing that because no one else did those tests. I took my heat press down. The original Cricut Easy Press actually works at 350 degrees. And I pressed 350 degrees, 60 seconds. And actually this mask right here, 350 degrees, 60 seconds is what I pressed this on. So when we first dropped it, people were like, there's no way. This has to be some crap or whatever. She doesn't know what she's talking about. But now, haha. One, you don't require cover paper. It doesn't bleed at all. Now, I'm not saying that this is the only paper that does that. Now, a lot of the companies over in China are, it's just like anything with technology. The way your phones change, paper changes, ink changes, printers change. Epson's changed their printers. So all like everything always evolves. Like they change their printers so that it can print on, it can work on 5G. So I'm not saying other papers and they have been around and like maybe they don't want to change their formula. Candy companies will update formulas and update recipes and ingredients. So there has been a change in the way that sublimation paper is made. And we were one of the first ones to kind of really, really talk about those changes in the fact that you don't need a cover sheet. Some will say butcher paper, but you don't. I actually despise butcher paper when it comes to doing this because it's porous and it can actually still bleed through. Like if you're putting it through a shirt and stuff, it can still go through the back. I actually despise butcher paper. I just like it because it's wide whenever I want to press the lines out. But I like parchment paper and I like, now I'm using actually some old sublimation paper. Works amazing. But there's no butcher paper, no cover sheet, no parchment on the top, meaning it's not going to bleed. Of course, on the bottom, you want to protect your heat press, but you never have to be fearful. As long as it's not going to be something that's going to come out of the sides, the back of it never bleeds. You can put it in your mug press and not have to worry about it bleeding and then getting on your mug press to where you have to go and you have to put butcher paper and put all this extra stuff. People use Teflons. I don't know why. Teflons you should not be using for sublimation. It is made of a polymer. It's polyester. Your ink will bind to that. And every time it heats up, it's going to release and it's going to get on stuff. Please stop using Teflon. I don't even care, if you have paper that's going to bleed, even if you have Teflon on the top, you're going to need a cover paper. And you know what you're doing? You're creating a heat barrier. I've talked about that in several videos about heat barriers. This is the things that most people don't teach you when it comes to this and how putting butcher paper and parchment paper and all of that, it makes the process longer because it creates a heat barrier. So because you don't need it, I can print all this stuff. And unless it is something where it bleeds out or whatever, I don't put anything on top. I don't put anything inside my shirts because I can press at a lower temperature and time. And the way that this paper release, I don't lint brush. So I'm saving myself a bunch of time. I'm saving a bunch of money because I don't have to print on premium matte that wastes a bunch of ink. I don't have to waste electricity, taking it all the way up to 400, which uses more electricity. I can leave it at a reasonable temperature where I'm not burning up. So our paper has a lot of great qualities. And again, I'm not saying that there aren't others, but they don't break it down and really let you know the benefits. Most people just want to sell you a product. I do my best to actually help people save money and help your businesses by trying to provide quality products and services and train you on them and not just, hey, I'm somebody else's paper, buy mine over anyone else's. So this paper, absolutely amazing. Everybody else wanted tacky. I love fast dry for everything. Unless I'm doing like a graduation stole or an all over shirt or something that's oversized, I'm using fast dry. You don't get a lot of ghosting with this unless you like pull your heat press down and it moved, because as soon as that heat hits the back, oh, that sucker starts to sublimate. But ghosting is very, very minimal with our paper. Whereas others, and like it's still gassing off. If you take it up, you got to like either snatch it. Even when you snatch it, you get ghosting. If you never paid attention, if you have our paper, once you press it, once you lift it up, watch how it domes. And that's another way, like it keeps it from ghosting. If it ghosted when you first pressed it. It didn't ghost at the end. And the ink release on it is amazing. And it's not just the ink release, it's the fact that it actually completes the sublimation process. There's nothing left for it to release. That's why it does not ghost. Like it's very, very minimal ghosting. If, maybe like I said, if you do see ghosting, it's probably from when you first put it down and it moved, but not if you got the good press down at the end. Y'all have seen me. If you haven't watched my videos, I have put something down and realized something was messed up. I lift it up, put it back down, and it still doesn't ghost. It's just the way that this paper is made. And out of all of the papers I tried, it was just the best. And I don't put out anything that to me is not the best. Once you know, like you can't use maybe the same settings you've used before, you're gonna have to, like, if you want to use premium matte, you're gonna have to change the density on it, because I mean it is a quality paper. So I'm not gonna ever say you're not gonna get pizza wheels. A sub gets pizza wheels, but you have to know what settings. You don't ever have to go to another group to find out about settings and how to work the paper. I'm live almost every single day educating you, whether you use our paper or not. You can always come directly to me. It always is amazing me when I see people in other groups and they ask about somebody else's product. Baby, why you ain't go to them people group? Because I know they got a group. Oh, they're not answering you. You don't have those issues over here with me, because I'm always helping. And if I don't, I've trained people so well, they can answer for me. So you don't ever have to worry about going to a different group when it comes to learning about our products. And then our ink, all of our bottles, you get more bang for your buck. 140 milliliters from pigment ink to sublimation. Great, great product. I always say I didn't even realize how important it was when we don't have like different ones. This one for Eco Tank, this one, because it's all the same ink. Ain't got time for those games. Don't have time. Smart business moves. Why in the heck would I have two different types of ink when it's the same ink in the bottle, just a different nozzle? But what I love about this top is you can put your syringe right through the top. So it's never like, let's say if your bottle falls over, you're going to get like a couple of drips that fall out, compared to you having ink all over your floors and all over your counters because of the way that the nozzle is. So I always just put my needle in the top and draw it out, because I have cartridge-based printers. So even with the top, like I thought about like all of that with keeping the one bottle. So that's a little bit about our products. And we have heat tape, non-staining. It goes from 1/2 inch all the way to 6 inches. And it's always great to have the right materials for the job, because there's sometimes we're going to need the wider tapes. The thinner tapes are great, but if you have something that's pretty heavy, or you're trying to, like, especially like when I'm doing plaques and stuff, little tape doesn't really help you. The thicker the tape, the better the adhesive, the better the grip. So it behooves you to get heat tape in different sizes. It may seem like a lot, but when you are using the right tape for the right job, your tape lasts so much longer. All right, so let's see. I have the Sawgrass, but prefer the Epson Workforce. Can you turn a 15,000 into a 15,000 solvent back to sublimation? Is that what you're asking? I cannot say that. I've never done that. I don't know how Eco Solvent ink would be as far as like clearing it out. It's an Eco Tank printer. Sublimation, if it is mixed with anything other than like, I mean, even when like, okay, let's say if it's a little bit of pigment ink, it can overtake that. If you mix sublimation and there is even a little bit of dye ink in there, it almost like it kills it, because you have so many people who have put the dye ink in there, they'll take it out. If you don't clear it out completely and it mixes just even a little bit, it's going to kill that ink. I don't know how Eco Solvent will be with sublimation, although I probably should experiment and just take a little bit, mix it in there, and then see if it'll press. I'll probably do that one day because I have some Eco Solvent ink. But you have to remember, it's an Eco Tank, and the 15,000, you cannot remove that ink easily. You have to disassemble the inside. So if you can't get all of that Eco Solvent ink out, and it actually affects the sublimation to where it basically cancels it out and kills it, you've wasted a bunch of ink, because once it's in there, and if you still had Eco Solvent in the tank and it contaminates it, then you've just wasted a full bottle or half of our bottle of ink. So I cannot say officially yet if you can go from Eco Solvent to sublimation. What I will probably do is take a little bit of sublimation ink, take a little bit of Eco Solvent ink, mix them, put it on some paper and see if it presses. If it presses still, then you can probably go ahead and just draw out as much as possible and put the ink in there. If it cancels it out like it will with dye ink, then I wouldn't advise it. I would just recommend getting a new printer. But that's the thing. Everybody wanted to go and convert these printers to eco solvent, and it really ain't worth it. To me, it ain't worth it. I hate they come for you about the replacement chips, but you was ready for it this morning. Have you heard of I have heard of every single printer you can think of. And the 170 is really no different than a small format eco tank printer. It works absolutely the same way. It has the exact same print head. The only difference is it's covered under warranty because Epson, sells sublimation ink for it. You don't have to worry about color variation because it is made to match Epson's actual sublimation ink. The other thing with it is it's a little bit more of a workhorse than these. These printers they were meant to just be small office. They're not meant to be these workhorses that are constantly printing. That's not what they're meant for. But the 170, it still is only 8.5 inches wide. Still, you can print 47 inches long. The print settings are a little bit different. It does, for some people, they say it does work better if you use from Photoshop because of the color profiles, and it only gives you the options for textiles or how is it? That's not textiles. Yeah, I think it's it says textiles and the settings are way different from a regular Epson printer. That could be the only thing with it, but it's a small format 15,000 basic because it's meant to be a workhorse, but it's made for sublimation. Thank you. I didn't feel like I was trying my best to keep it professional, but I was getting real hot. And it was so crazy because the person was actually sending messages and laughing and okay, whoever, whatever, and being kind of smug. So it was actually making me kind of mad. Sawgrass ink is stupid expensive and definitely there's definitely more reasonable options available with just as good print quality or better than Sawgrass. Hello, welcome to everyone that has joined over on TikTok. Feel free to chime in, post a question, leave feedback, interact with me. If you're liking what I'm saying, feel free to interact over here on TikTok and you can post your question. We're going to be on, it's 6:15, 6:13. I have class at 6:30, so I'm going to wrap this up at 6:20. Have you been in my studio? I just put Teflon on my press, moving it right now. People only listen to what they want to hear instead of listening to someone who actually does research. Thank you for mentioning the Teflon sheets. No one wants to listen about that either. Exactly. Because there are popular people who don't know. Okay, let's make this very clear. Anybody can go to Alibaba, AliExpress, DH Gates, and order paper, order ink, order heat presses and put their name on it, order sticker paper, because there are classes, there are coaches who tell you that you're going to make so much money, sell your own products, and they will get the products to sell them, but they are skipping because they feel like they paid for a coach or a mentor or this. YouTube is full of these ads of how to go and get these products. Some people, there's one, they'll tell you, if you don't know, I'll give you the game for free, which I think some of them do it for free. If you didn't want to carry inventory yourself and be responsible for it, but you just want to make some extra money, the same way that I went and I got it and we sell it from here because, we rather package it and all that stuff. And, we don't mind working. There are some people, the things that you see on Amazon is simply a marketplace. That's it. That's all Amazon is. Walmart.com is a marketplace. It's really hard for us who sell paper and ink or blanks and things like that because we're buying from overseas because it's cheaper over there. but then they undercut us because what they will do is what anybody can do. You can order your things in bulk. You never have to have it come directly to you. You send it directly to an Amazon fulfillment center. And Amazon is going to put it where they can get it for Prime. They're going to fulfill those for you. Now, are you going to make as much money from them doing it? No, because they're going to take a higher percentage because their staffing is doing all the work. Whereas, okay, when we get it, we are, of course, accounting for staffing. So we price it accordingly. But when you're overseas and all these Chinese companies and stuff like that, if they can sell me a tumbler at, let's say, $2 or $1.50, $2, so where I can wholesale that tumbler to other businesses, or even if they buy just one or two of them for from anywhere from $5 to $10 is what people kind of sell tumblers for, right? So if you're able to sell it for me for $2, that means it probably cost you pennies to make it. So when the company that makes it can go and make a whole bunch of them, they're making it for. There are hundreds of people who are using these factories. So they have the capabilities of making hundreds of thousands and millions of these products. So while they're making all of ours, they are making theirs as well too. And they are able to, it's going to cost them less money to put it on a container, send it to California, send it to an Amazon distribution center, and they don't have to worry about our taxes. They don't have to worry about labor laws. They don't have to worry about anything. They're just making straight money off of it. When you go and do it, you don't have to, you have to worry about because you're making money, like your sales tax, but you don't have to worry about labor. We just had to spend, because we have one staffer, $235 for a 3-video OSHA video or whatever. You spend money as a business person when you have overhead and you have a warehouse, you have lights and all of those things. So you're going to price it because you have overhead. When they send it to Amazon, even if I only make 30% off of it, I ain't doing no work. I ordered it. I sent there. Amazon's doing all the work. So they're undercutting us because they can. So all of these new companies that's coming out there, if you go look at their site, you'll see the Chinese addresses. They're not US based as far as the company, and they're undercutting us. Anybody can do it. Literally anybody can do it. So because anybody can do it, not everybody does the research. It's like, okay, this is the popular product. Let me get this. I'm going to slap my name on and I'm going to sell it. And they could never, ever, ever answer a troubleshooting question for you. Why do I have pizza wheels? What do I do for this? What do I do for that? You know what they do? They go and watch my video and they pass off as their own. But I'm not going to talk about that. Yeah, no. Let's see. But yeah, most people don't want to listen to actual information because anybody can sell it. When do I use 6-inch tape? I normally use it to wrap my tumbler. So if you haven't seen any of my videos, I use my 6-inch tape because it makes it easier to when I want to wrap a tumbler completely. I use my 6-inch tape when I'm using Jet Pro 3G because I can lay it out and I can pick that up. But those are the majority of times when I'm using my 6-inch. And sometimes if I'm doing a plaque and it's the paper's moving around, I'll use my 6-inch because it's a better grip. Yep, I use it for tumblers instead of the shrink wrap. That's when I use it as well. I'm trying to get started with t-shirts and cups, but it's so many different ways. But it's so many different ways. I like sublimation. Yes, there are a lot of different ways to make t-shirts and cups. I actually did what's called a t-shirt talk. I talked about all of the different ways to make t-shirts. What's the pros, the cons? What's going to be the benefit as far as small runs versus long runs? I'm actually going to do that again so that people can ask questions because the one that's there, it's a little bit older. It's the playback of it. So be on the lookout for that. If you go to the link in my bio and you sign up for class updates, whenever I release the next live class for that, you can join us for that. And I talk about all the different ways. And we're going to have a 7-day challenge for t-shirts as well. And you're going to get a box that's going to have all different things. So you're going to have a sublimation transfer, an eco solvent transfer, a DTF transfer, HTV, printable transfers, and you'll be able to press them to shirts so that you can really go and feel for yourself like how they feel, which one is better than the other. So we're going to send out screen print transfers as well. We're going to send that out, and we're going to have where we're talking about each one every day, how to design for it, what's the requirements for it. If you're going to send out, to either DTF or screen print transfers, how do files have to be set up for HTV? And then you'll be able to decide like, I might still need to keep X, Y, I might need to have two things. One print method is not going to service every customer. One print method is not going to service every customer. All right, it's 6:21. So let me hop off of here. Let me look at these last little bit of questions or comments. How to use the color reference chart that only has the numbers on top and sides of it, like RCW. I don't know what RCW 110 is. In programs, it's normally going to be a hex code. So the hex code, like on here, let's see if I can see one, might be like hashtag FBFCFC. So depending on which program you are using, you're going to find where your color dropper is or color selector. It's going to say either a hex code. Some just have an RGB value. Some will have you have the RGB value, you have the hex value, and you have what's the other one? Jesus, hold on. I just lost my whole train of thought. Well, it slipped my mind on what the other one is. It is, you have the RGB, HSL, and hex code. And then there's some where you can put in Pantone color combinations. So depending on, what the hex code is, you're going to select your element and go to wherever your color selector is and put in either that hex code or that RGB code. But y'all can't get the professor. Exactly. Textile, ceramic, and polyester is like what you can use it for. That crossed my mind. New to the printers, I saw the Epson 2850 in the store. Is that a new or older print? It's a new one. Anything that has 28 on it is a newer one. She says, yep, preach. Yes, that is sad, but y'all, the professor is the real deal. I'm a little confused on how the measurement chart you gave us in essentials. Can you explain if you have time? So it's basically when you have a ruler. I kind of mentioned that. So if you have a ruler for the inch side, some rulers may have 8. Like if it's a 1/8 ruler, some of them are a 1/16. So when you are counting them, when you're putting in measurements in a program, you can't go 1 slot, 2 slot, 3 slots. You need to know what that decimal is. So that measurement one tells you what the decimal. So if you have one that has 8 splits in it, if you go to 7, that chart tells you what you put in. 3 point, if it's 0.75, if it's 0.635, if it's 0.125, if it's 16 in the middle, it's whatever that is. So you'll count, up to 6, and whatever that number is, that's the decimal that you put. But it's how you read a ruler. So the 1.5, the next time we order tape, I'm actually ordering that one because when we got this, I didn't realize it's actually 1.5. So like if you want to just put 1 on here. So when you put the 1 inch, it's kind of a waste. I mean, I have one where I have a 1.5 inch, but like when I don't need as many of the 1/2 inches or don't need as many of the 1 inches, I'm kind of wasting it. So that is one of the things that we will have our next round of tape is we're getting the 1.5. So yeah, we're 1.75. We're not getting that, but we are getting the 1.5 because it will fit on here. Can't wait for the t-shirt challenge. Can't wait for the t-shirt challenge. Yes, me too. She's like, I want 10 plus, please. So the chart you have at the bottom of the cup you had in hand, is that is what I was talking about. You don't use it at all. What do you mean? So you mean what, this part? Oh, you mean this part. Oh, okay. So this only works if you're able to sample. I didn't realize that's what that said, RCW. Haha. So that's just telling you like that part right there has no like value. You don't use that. This is just, what the row is and what the number is. So there's no value. Like these don't equal a color value. In order to use this, it's called a reference chart. You sample it. So if you're looking at this and let's say you want a certain shade of pink, you're going to open up this color chart in your system and you're going to sample. Take your dropper and sample whatever that is. So if that the pink you wanted was 12 and 4, you're going to take your dropper, go to 12 and 4 and sample it. That's going to give you what that hex code is. It's actually going to save the color too, and you can apply it to anything that you're designing. But yeah, these are reference. You have to have a program where you can sample. You can't use these charts in like Cricut Design Space. You can use them in Silhouette Studio. You can use them in Photoshop and things like that, but you can't use them like in Cricut. Anything where we don't have a color dropper. And last but not least, I feel like I'm charging too little for my service. I recently got an order to do swag bags and charge $338 for 10 custom journals, 10 custom luggage tags, and 10 bags and 10 pins. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40 items. Now, if you feel like you are not charging enough, then you probably aren't. If you felt like that was way too much work for the cost. Now, especially when it comes to, I've talked this before, but it's sublimation. I got 3 minutes, y'all. I can't even answer this question. I love you, boo. Maybe next time you'll get on earlier. But it probably wasn't enough. This is what I talk about in my creative business when we're talking about like how to price and thinking about like how you have to make stuff and the process. When people say, "Oh, well, how much of a discount do you give for X, Y, and Z?" Is it the same exact process? Do I have to print on one sheet of paper for all of them? If I can't print multiple on a sheet of paper where I'm saving money that way, you're not gonna save no money. Bulk order don't make a difference for me. If you watch my video where I talked about that, would you go on if your job told you, I need you to work overtime? When you do a bunch of items like that, you are technically working overtime for one job. If you would not allow your job that you're on right now, that they take tax out of, your 9 to 5, your 7 to 3, your 12 to 12, your 1 to 1, whatever the time it is, if they ask you to work overtime because you're doing extra work, but told you you're doing more work, but I want to pay you less, does that make sense? So I don't understand why we as creators or crafters, because I'm not a crafter, some of y'all call yourselves crafters, why as crafters or small businesses, it's almost like you're desperate for a sale, so you're wanting to discount them. Bigger companies can do that because sometimes it's not hand done. It's machinery that's making that. Or they're able to purchase things in such a large volume that they're getting the raw materials for cheaper, so they pass that on. But if you are paying the same exact amount for every last one of those luggage tags, for every last one of those shirts, every last one of those journals and those tumblers, and it takes you one page for each thing. I mean, if you were able to, let's say, put the journal, the luggage tag, I think you said a pen. Let's say if you were able to fit all of those things on one paper, then you're saving on that paper. So I can see maybe you passing a little bit of savings on because you're able to put everything for that one like set on one sheet of paper. That's the way where you save. But if everything requires its own and there's like, you're really not saving anything and you got to go and cut this out and when you do multiple things, even when you put like a bunch of things on the paper, if you can't do like I do the metal cards and press them all at the same time, and you have to cut them out individually to press them individually, it's actually more work. So why are we charging less when we're doing overtime? It makes no sense. We have to normalize to give our businesses the same energy we give a corporate job or when we go on someone else's job. But we want to do the things that we would not accept from them. You wanted to start your own business because you were tired of things and how they ran at your old job, but you're doing the same thing, if not worse, to yourself. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? So we have to normalize to stop doing that. It's 6:30. I got to go. But hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Until next time, she says no discount. I know that's right. All right, y'all. Hopefully this was helpful for you. I got to go because I want to start class because I'm hungry. I need to eat. And hopefully my husband has food when he comes back. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. Visit our website. Oh, my bad. I forgot to also mention we have some of the best prices. You know, we inspired other people to sell things by the cases. We also inspired other companies to sell multiple packs of stuff because, you know, they really weren't doing that because that's where the wholesale comes in. You know, you buy more, you get a little bit of a discount. You know, we're trendsetters over here. It's a lot of websites that are, you know, modeled after ours. So, you know, we like being trendsetters, but we have some of the best prices around because I know that the majority of my audience likes a great deal, but also have a quality product and have a company that they can trust and get the help when they need it. So check out our website, shop.hsink for ink.com. It honestly speaks for itself. Peace.